Creepypastas, the foundation of terrifying internet stories. Now, it's time to revisit one of the FNAF lists that got us onto r/FNAF cringe. That's right, baby, creepypastas are what we're exploring today. Let's do it. Cringe! And at 10, Henry. My name is Henry, and I recently went into business with a longtime friend named William. We bought the rights to this character named Fredbear and rebranded into a pizzeria with arcade games and singing animatronics. He is the business end and I am the creative end. My creations were supposed to help kids, but now they've seemingly been warped, molded into something else entirely. The police said that they can't help me, but I know what Afton has been doing. He's trying to take children away from their families, but not before doing unspeakable things. I tried to buy him out yesterday, used the shotgun clause in our contract, but he was able to outbid me. Now he owns the company and I'm stuck here with nothing. My daughter keeps trying to go, saying even if I don't own the company, she still loves what I made. But I know what he will do if he finds her. I've banned her from going, but still added a secret part to her favorite bracelet. That makes sure our security protocols focus on her. It sounds selfish, I know, but wouldn't you do anything to save your kid? Why is there someone knocking? This isn't good. We need to leave. Where's my daughter? What the hell is at my door? And at 9, Chuck E. Cheese. When I was in college, I was a night guard at Chuck E. Cheese. Well, night guard is sort of a loose term here. After they closed, I would have to stick around for a few hours and make sure no kid was hiding in the store, or that the animatronics were turned off. Well, one night, I swear to God, it was almost exactly like these damn games everyone's been freaking out about. One summer night, it was close to the end of my shift, which at that point was 3 a.m. I was waiting in the security room with the cameras on, with YouTube on my phone, watching the latest videos from my favorite YouTubers, when all of a sudden I see movement on the cameras. I look up and I see one of the animatronics dancing. I don't know how it got turned on, but I went to go turn it off and it was gone. While I was out there, another one started dancing, but then it put its hands on the banister that the robots sit behind. Then the curtain closed and I heard nothing. I went to report it to my manager, but my watch fell off as the time hit 3 and I just left it alone. When I got back the next day, the robot was back. I still don't know what I saw that night, but I've never worked another security job again. And at 8, Crying Child. I loved Freddy Fazbear's as a kid. I would go there every weekend with my friends. Our parents would talk over a few beers and everyone was happy. We would play games, say hi to Freddy and the gang, and have the time of our lives dancing with everyone. Until November of 1996, when our lives got changed forever. We were playing skee-ball until I had to go to the bathroom. When I got back, my friends weren't there, and their tickets were hanging out in the machine. I grabbed them and went back to our parents, who said that they had gone to the bathroom, which wasn't true because I was just in there. I start heading over to see if they were really in there, but as I walk past a dark room, I see someone with them. He was tall, he looked old and had a purple shirt on. Awkward. He put a head on one of them and then turned around and saw me. He started towards the door, but then I ran back to my parents. He came out and I pointed at him, saying that he had my friends. My parents just said it was a good time to go and took me home. My friends were never found. Nobody believes me. They say that I was only a kid then, but it's been over 20 years and they never looked where I told them. Idiots. All of them. And at 7, Chica's Party World. After the fall of Freddy Fazbear's, the IP to the characters were still intact. So an individual named Riley bought the rights to Chica, the yellow bird with her signature cupcake. They opened a new pizzeria with new branding, but still in the same building. It had all the amenities that one needed after all. We would regularly have officers at the location, constantly checking to make sure that Afton never showed his face, and he never did. But then we noticed neither did the owner. After talking to some of the employees while off duty, they had never met the owner either. The man was said to only arrive after the place had closed and everyone had left to take the earnings from the register. We ran the owner's name against our database and there was nobody in the city with the name Riley Tremakovic. So after obtaining a warrant, we discovered what we had feared the most. Riley was an alias for one William Joel Afton, who, after running this business under the alias, had used it to kill 15 more kids in the span of 1 week. All after hours, and all after following a pink Chica around back after they had gotten home. Suspect was arrested at 11:36 p.m. on Tuesday, June 18, 1996 by arresting Officer William Clayton. And at 6, Springtrap.exe. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 just came out. I've been a fan of the series since the beginning, especially after everyone was making theories about the story. I wanted to play 3 when it came out, but I never really had money. I was looking for the game online, but all I could get was links to buy it. And the only links I were finding were to a website called Pirate Bay that was using a separate program. I tried installing the program to get the game and it worked for a while, but instead of being called Five Nights 3, it was called Springtrap. I guess it was to make things sneakier maybe? I loaded the game when it was installed, but this wasn't a Five Nights game. The game only had Springtrap on the menu, and I knew who he was because of all the theories online, and he was staring at me. But his eyes always followed me. Not my cursor, but me. I loaded the game and I was a security guard, but instead of being in the security room, I was in the main door to the place. Text faded onto the screen saying escape, and I heard things fall behind me. I turned around and nothing was there. I tried opening the door, but the door was locked, and I needed to find the key. I went to the first room I saw and it was a closet. There was nothing in there, but as I turned to leave, Springtrap was standing behind me. He stared at me for what felt like forever before walking out of sight. I exited the room and checked the others, and there was no key at all. As I headed back to the main room, Springtrap was there at the door, standing in front of it with a key around his neck. He takes it off and gives it to me. I open the door, and as I walk out, he says, "I always come back." Then I get pulled back inside, the door slams, and Springtrap starts tearing me to shreds. The game deleted itself off my computer after that, and I haven't looked for it since. It's understandable. Halfway through into number 5, it's me. I am not Chica, I am not Freddy, I am your worst nightmare, hello, it's me. I am not Foxy, I am not Bonnie, I am coming for you, hello, it's me. The faster you go, the louder I shriek, that's how you know it's me. And when you feel cold and only see gold, then you'll know I have your soul. And for sound disc. I finished watching all the theories on FNAF. They were so interesting, and I loved the thought behind the sound discs. See, for the past few nights I've been seeing things. Seeing things like my golden Freddy plushie walking and my stuffed Bonnie jumping on my bed. But ever since seeing that, I'm worried that it will get worse. Update, I was right. Last night I had some of the worst dreams imaginable. The monsters were coming after me. It was almost exactly like the FNAF 4 gameplay. But only in my house. I don't know what to do. I don't think I can handle it anymore. I might just give up. Getting close to the end in number 3, help wanted. My local Chuck E. Cheese had a help wanted sign in the window, so I figured I would try applying since I've played all the Five Nights games. When I brought it up at the interview, the manager hired me on the spot. I thought it was a joke, but later on I figured out why. My first night was exactly like the Five Nights games. Some recorded messages teaching me about the job, and since the managing security guard was on maternity leave. And it had a similar setup to the games. Nothing happened until the next night, where animatronics started playing songs and dancing. The next night, one of them was missing, even though it was there earlier in the day, and I just thought it was my mind playing tricks, but I found it in the kitchen. My final night was where it got bad. All of the animatronics were gone, and I saw them walking on the security camera. They were walking towards me. So the only thing I thought to do was jump out of the window and never go back. The place was shut down a week later for foul odors and ooze coming out of the robots. Penultimately, in number 2, Michael. I know my father's secret. My name is Michael. You may know my father, William. I saw him carrying bags home after work, but when I looked inside, I saw people. People who I once called my friends were cold, pale, and lifeless in a bag being carried by my father. When I confronted him, he told me to stay out of it, but I am not letting this happen. I know that my sister died, but she wouldn't want this. He asked me why I couldn't get over it, and obviously because I can't get the image out of my head. Carrying bodies of dead kids? I don't even know how long you've been doing this. He didn't like it when I said that. He took one of my arms and one of his robots and hit me. Everything went dark, but I could still hear him. He said he wanted to put me back together, whatever that means. And finally, in at number 1, Junior's. I was with a few of my buddies grabbing some drinks at Junior's, a bar down the block from me. The bouncer called him William and tells him that he knows he's not allowed in. We have no idea why, and we've been coming here for the past few years, and we have never heard the mention of anyone named William. Then the guy starts getting aggressive, yelling and even shoving the bouncer. At least it explains why this bar has a bouncer. It's for this guy. All of a sudden he falls to the floor, and this William guy comes strolling in with a shirt now tinted red. I start freaking out, but my friends are telling me to stay calm. William then yells for someone named Henry, to which the guy behind me stands up. "What do you want, William?" William yelled that he snitched and started walking towards us. My friends and I got ready to stand up, and Henry pushes my shoulder back down, telling us to stay seated. "You were killing kids, William," Henry told him quietly, but my friends and I heard him. William smiled and said if that's how you see it before walking away. But before closing the door, he leaned back in and shouted, "Call your daughter. Tell her I say hi," before walking outside and waiting at his car. Henry does, and he doesn't get an answer. That's when my friends and I spring into action. We run outside and see a clown standing in front of us. She looks shiny and has orange pigtails and was way taller than any of us. I heard the sound of metal on metal, but then everything went black. That's all the time we have for today, friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Colin Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Ignore the purple, please. That was an accident.